What's up?
Hi. Hello. Happy Tuesday, everyone. We are a day late, dollar short, but guess what? It was Memorial Day yesterday, and we actually had plans. So we have decided to kind of move everything over to today. And I wouldn't really say plans. It was an unfortunate circumstance, but yeah, we were out of town.
Out of state.
Out of state. Yeah. Hi, Thunder Midget. Today we have a fantastic show for everyone.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a real good one. So we have our special guest today, the pot stirrer himself,
Yep.
Rob Drolet, and I double checked. That is how we say his name.
Yep. Drolet, USA BMX. Drolet.
Yes.
It's French.
And it's Rob, not Rod, is
yep.
what we were told. Yes. So we are super excited. We have a lot of fun stuff to talk about. We're actually going to kind of dive into some other things, some outside things that probably isn't usually talked about in BMX. I'm super excited.
I am too.
He's like, I don't know. I have no idea.
What's up, Amanda? Congratulations.
Yeah, she killed
the whole
it.
Family.
She killed it.
Yep.
Before we go too much further, why don't we go ahead and do a shout out to our sponsors? What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think? Who we got first?
Free Up Storage.
Free Up Storage.
Tell us about it.
Free Up Storage is located in, I think it's 15 or 16 states right now with multiple facilities. And if you use code BMX15, you get 15% off. That is our personal friend discount.
Right.
So being that anybody who watches, guess what? You're friends. So you get a discount. Hey, Jenny. Also, we have climate control.
Come on.
What? There's parking.
Semi-parking.
RV
parking, boat parking.
RV parking, boat parking. Hey, Elaine. Also, we have Amy Grips.
Yep.
Amy Grips.
Come on.
What do you have to say about Amy Grips?
Best grips there are.
How long have you used Amy Grips? How long have they been around? They've been around a long time.
Yeah, Amy was my favorite grips in the 80s.
Right.
I don't know exactly how long they've been around.
They've been around a long time.
They've been around as long as I've been
right.
Not riding the bike, maybe, but been a long time.
Been a long time. Mad Maddie is not in the chat. She had to take her daughter to Dallas for a doctor's appointment. She might join us later if we're lucky, but it's hard to say.
Right.
So also we have Evil Alloy.
Yep.
Which is also
our
Gate Drop swag bag sponsor today, right?
Yes,
super excited. They have the most original parts out there, and we also have a code for them. I believe it is Rogue 15. I think it'll shoot across the top somewhere. I'm so bad with this stuff. And
and we've got 8-degree pedal.
We've got 8-degree
pedal. For the best pedals in the world. That make you feel good, make you feel important, make you feel special, and purty. Yep. And we're also, Ken sent me my 8-degree thong. Y'all will be seeing me in later on. I know y'all are looking forward to that. Yeah.
Look at the 8-degree thong. Hey, Charles. Hey, Donald.
What's up,
everybody?
Donald.
What the heck? I can call him Don. So there's that.
It is Don. But anyway,
yeah.
Thank you, Ken. I know I'm gonna look sexy in it, so I appreciate it.
He's got a whole get-up plan.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you, I'm just letting him go, y'all. You know that I normally try to rein Dan in and kind of keep him under control. I'm letting him go buck wild on this one.
When we was out in the garage, somebody said something about it, and I popped my mouth off and said, because I never thought Ken would do an 8-degree thong. So I will show my hairy arse, and we're gonna ride in boots and the thong.
It's all happening.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
It's going to be hilarious. That's what it's going to be. I don't know if it'll be fun. I'm gonna see what the deal is with y'all butt floss.
I'm just gonna let y'all know to be prepared. Maybe keep the kids off that day.
And this ain't no damn Walmart thong either.
No,
I mean,
he's like excited about the quality of the thong.
it is. It looks nice.
It
might not feel that good. But
it almost looks like a swimsuit thong.
what are them Speedos? Or
Yeah, like a Speedo.
A regular gayness.
Hey, Cole. Yeah.
What's up, Cole?
I don't know if you want to see your unk in some 8-degree thongs, but it's fixing to happen. Not today. Today is all about our special guest.
Dad bod dad.
So
yes, it is.
No thong in today, but we have plans.
Yeah.
Charles says, I think I'll bypass that.
I don't know. Coming soon.
I may not warn anybody just so that you don't have a choice. Hey, you can come be on the show and break out your leopard print Speedo. I mean, we could have it a whole like men's Speedo show. It could happen.
No.
Amanda, dude, yes, that's what we were talking about. He's got the button-down shirt.
Yeah, and that's good. It's in the works. I mean,
he's got a plan. I'm telling you, I'm letting him go. So fair warning, Mama's not reining him in. It's gonna be wild. Y'all hold on. Hey, Brad, how are you? It's been so long since I talked to you.
No kidding.
Yes. Rob is wearing his thong right now, and I think that must be his wife. She probably knows.
Busted.
Yep.
You're gonna have to stand up. You're gonna have to stand up and show us. Oh God.
Oh, it's gonna be a good one. I'm so excited.
So I'm wondering if it's like Ken did the 8-degree one for me. I wonder if Tyler did a premier racing.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see.
It's gonna be fun.
Right.
So excited. Thank you, Ken, for the
for the
underwear.
For the memories.
For the memories. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about that. Moving on, we do have Carbone Cartel is also our sponsor.
That is correct.
Super excited for them. They have kind of joined in, and last week, I think was it last week? Did we give their stuff out? I think we did. So every podcast host has a thought. No, wait a minute. Did he send that to everyone? Because we may need to rethink our ChatGPT images that we've got going right now. Maybe I need to go to work on that one. No.
I like what, when Rick asked me, or Justin or Arthur says, "Can you do this?" I'm like, "Let me get working on it." But it's you that does it.
I know.
You do it for me.
He sends me a list. This is what I want it to look like. This is the picture I want. If you missed it, all of these hosts have this picture floating around with their weird ass minivan talk and their weird porta potty stuff that I just simply do not understand. But I just keep going.
Right. Anyway,
I just keep going.
Let's get back to here.
Brad says, "What's going?" So happy to see you guys blowing up. Let's go.
Yeah,
I love it.
Brad.
Yes,
we're trying.
We're trying. You know us, always doing something. Okay, so we are getting really super close to, bringing on our special guests.
Correct.
We have lots of awesome questions, a lot of cool things to talk about. This guy is awesome. He's just straight up awesome. He's got his hands in some cool stuff. I mean, I don't want to go too far into it because those are questions that we're going to have. So I don't want to go too far into it, but I do want to give a quick shout out to the people that support us.
Yes.
All things BMX.
Yep.
Beer Budget.
Yep.
Northwest Arkansas Podcast.
Yes.
Those are the guys who have really helped us really grow. And these guys have created a weird ass friendship that I just can't understand. I'm not part of the cool kids club, but I just sit back and laugh.
Well,
just saying.
I don't know if it's cool kids. It's sick kids club.
Sick kids.
But anyway, we thank y'all guys for pushing our podcast and everything, making this available to everybody and help growing our audience and everything. And and us getting to talk about just like we have Rob here, getting to talk BMX and drama free and
we are very much
we love it.
We love it. We like to call ourselves like a grassroots BMX podcast. We like to think of ourselves as talking about what BMX could possibly be, talking about how it got to where it is and
what it was,
and how people are influencing BMX, how people can change the trajectory of the concept that BMX is dead. Nobody believes that. Whoever watches this show would never believe that, but there are people out there who seriously think that, and we try to bring up people that are exactly the opposite of that. And I think Rob is a perfect definition of that. We first met him in DeSoto.
Correct.
And he was probably the first person that really talked to us when we were trying to race. Like, Dan just made his comeback, and there wasn't no people. When you don't know people, it's awkward, right? You're getting out there doing a sport that you haven't done in years, and I'd never done it, so it was all foreign to me, seeing all these old men on little bikes. But he was super cool. Talked about, at the time he was kind of coaching and doing some fun stuff. So
yes,
very, very welcoming to us. And then we've been following him ever since. Says Rob for mayor. Boom.
Come on.
There we go. So anyways, without talking anymore, should we bring him on?
Yes,
let's bring him on. All right. Rob, if you can hear us, you're about to join on stage. There he is. Hey, Rob.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, we can hear you.
Awesome.
Can everybody hear Rob?
Yep. Comment. Say hi to Rob. We are so excited to have you on our show today. I know we were kind of talking in the back, but we didn't talk about anything that we're talking about on the show.
Correct.
So this could be fun for us. Like, we get to see and learn and hear about who you are and what you do. I'm just a little curious.
Well, I know what he does on the track, and that's what
he does. And you were in Nashville this past weekend, right?
Yes, I was.
We watched you, and you didn't slip and fall, or did you get sick from all that rain? Like, wow.
No, but that was crazy. First, thank you for having me on too. By the way,
you're welcome. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely. Yeah, Nashville was a trip, man. It was crazy. It was a lot of rain. It was very intimidating at times. And, I was like, okay, well, I normally don't wear pads, but I was wearing elbow pads, knee pads. I was even wearing some compression, like G-form padded shorts over my thong, of course. And just in case. And boy, it was interesting just because, we ended up doing 2 nationals on Saturday. Plus we did that, sort of did 2 on Saturday. We did one in, I guess, 1/3 because we didn't get the other 2, we didn't get classes in. And then Sunday, it just made for a really long weekend. And, but no, when it came to the main on Saturday on class, I was like, yeah, no. I watched my team owner manager, Tyler, he went down, and several other people go down. And yeah, Tyler had a pretty bad wreck and up in the hospital.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. He was in the hospital? Did they take
him? Yeah, that was on Sunday for day 3, and he ended up dislocating his shoulder and broke his wrist. Just numerous injuries, and I was like, what, it's just not worth it. So I had second lane pick, and I said, you guys have at it. I'm going to lane 8, and I'll let you all go and just do whatever I can, just play it safe. So there's still enough races to go in the year. And we got Worlds coming up in July, so what's the point in getting hurt doing something in the rain like that?
Right, exactly. I'm actually upset that we missed that. We usually follow that pretty closely, but Sunday we were traveling. We were. Unfortunately, we had a memorial that we had to attend, so we were traveling 5 hours one direction and 6 hours one direction. And flow sports does not work very well without service. Just saying.
Sure.
Come on.
But okay, so what do you think, Dan? Should we get going? Roll in here?
Yes.
Yeah. So what? I'm a little curious. Like, how did you get started in BMX? What brought you to the sport?
As a kid, I rode a lot. I didn't race, but I rode my bike almost every single day. And me and we always considered him my brother, this guy Ron. We would ride all over town, and we would be out till the late hours because my mother, his father, they didn't parent so much. No, we live in different households. But we'd be out till the wee hours of the night or in the morning, and still go to school and all that stuff. Just riding our bikes all over town, and just loved being on my bike. And so I did a little bit of everything. I did. Yeah, that's him.
That's him.
So
Yeah.
I would literally, I did the jumping. I did some flatland stuff. I did some ramp stuff. I wasn't really good at any one in particular, other than just riding my bike and riding wheelies. But fast forward, I ended up going to college. Believe it or not, that was kind of a last second thing, and got married and so forth. It just, never. I ended up having to put the bikes down, and always wanted to race though, and just didn't have the resources growing up to do it. My parents divorced when I was young, and my mother wasn't particularly good with money and stuff. She chose to do other things, and the closest track at that time was like 45 miles away, so I just couldn't do it. And so fast forward, I go through life, and I was retiring from the Army in 2014, and moved to where we are in Texas. And I was like, hey, wonder about this BMX thing. And so I took my son, who was 12 at the time, up to DeSoto, and we watched for half an hour or so. And I said, what do you think? And he's like, no, I'm good. And so I was like, all right. So fast forward a few years, and I'm from 2014 to 2018, I'm battling PTSD really bad, very, very bad. And I ended up going to a program called Save a Warrior, and it really helped change the trajectory of my life. And
what
I learned a lot of
program again.
Save a Warrior.
Save a Warrior. Okay.
And so I was working this program that I had learned about in Save a Warrior called Adult Children of Alcoholics or Dysfunctional Families. And I came from a very dysfunctional upbringing. And as I'm working this program, I'm in a meeting, and this gentleman, I'm not going to mention his name, but this gentleman pops into a meeting, and he's an alumni from the Save a Warrior program as well. And it's after Thanksgiving, and he's from California. He's going through Texas at the time. He's like, yeah, I'm coming from Oklahoma. I'm like, what were you doing out here? He goes, oh, I'm coming from Grands. And he starts telling me about Grands. Like, dude, I've heard about Grands. And I was like, seriously, I've always wanted to race. He goes, oh, you should. I was like, nah, I'm too old. And he's like, dude, I'm like 46, 47 or whatever it was. And so I was like, they have classes our age? And he said, yeah. And at this point in time, my wife, this is 2020. My wife and I were doing daily walks. And one morning we're on our walk, and I said, you know what? I think I might want to start racing BMX. And she's like, what? Are you smoking crack kind of thing? I was like, no, for real. So I don't know if I'll be any good at it, but I would just buy a cheap bike and see what it's like and go from there. And so I bought a bike from the track out of the box, and I practiced at the track for like a month or so. And I fell in love with the sport because I had this camaraderie that I had lost in the military. I found it in the sport. And it really allowed me to get out there and channel a lot of energy and to do something that I really enjoyed as a kid. And something that I could see progress as well. I started off, I'm very shaky. I'm not very good. And I could see every single time I went out that I was just continuing to progress.
Right.
And so that's how I got into it. And I started off as a novice. I think February 6th was my first race. I won 10 of my first 11 races, so now I'm intermediate. And
that's awesome.
And then I'm like, oh gosh, now what?
Right.
And I did my first national was the Super Nationals at DeSoto in March of 2023 or 2021, excuse me. And I won all 3 days there as a novice still. And I just, it wasn't the fact that I was winning that made me fall in love with the sport. It was just being on my bike and the camaraderie that really made me fall in love with the sport itself.
Right.
And so, yeah, I was doing it 10, 11 races later, I'm intermediate. And I want to say it was probably about 4 or 5 months later, I'm expert. And
you both did intermediate.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, I flew through intermediate and I sandbagged. And I sandbagged a little bit.
Right.
So I was like, I had two wins to go, and I'm like, I'm saving those 2 wins for the Gold Cup Championship. And so I was racing the very first time I did 2 bikes. I just started cruiser in October the same year, or September. And it was like the Sunday before the Gold Cup Championship, and I'm racing 2 bikes at Cowtown, and I'm just kind of dying. I don't have the shape, the endurance yet.
Right.
And so I'm going. It was class main, and I probably could have caught the guys, but I was like, nah, screw it. I'll just let them go because I was tanked. And
Right.
Craig Prince is not a big fan of anybody who's sandbagging. He comes up to me
Right.
after. He says, hey, if you don't want to move up, just stick to cruiser. And I was like, yeah, I got you, man, no problem. So I go to the Gold Cup finals and as an intermediate, and day 1 main event. It was a rain delay like they had at Nashville. We're going to come back tomorrow and we're going to finish day 1 and we're going to go right into day 2. And I forgot how slow the gate was. And I get in the gate. And I'm like, oh, my seat's really high. What's going on? Light turns red. I go. I flip the gate because the gate was so slow. Yeah. So I end up winning day 2. I still end up winning the Gold Cup title that year. And came back to DeSoto on Monday and won the local race. And now I'm expert. And
oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I went to my first Grands that year. And I was an expert at Grands, and holy smokes, that was that was crazy. But I've been to Grands ever since, and like I said, I just really love the sport. It's so much camaraderie. I haven't done a lot of sports where my competitors are texting me. They're watching from afar,
Right.
and they're texting me, and they're like, "Dude, what are you doing why are you doing that? Why aren't you doing this instead?"
Right.
Or where somebody I'm racing says, "Oh man, if you would have done this move right there, you would have had me." So it's the fact that we continually try to build each other up instead of looking at each other as our competition or our enemy. Right. And I haven't found that in many sports at all, and that's something I love about this.
I don't think there is any.
I don't think there is another sport that does that. Even, and this is one of those sports where your success is all about you, right? It's a one-person sport. I mean, we might be part of a team, but how you do things that's about you. So that's awesome. That's super cool. There's not a whole lot of sports that will offer that for sure. I love that so much. So you were with, was it Gunslingers? Is that who he was with first? What team were you on prior to Premier?
Regulators.
Yeah,
regulators. That's it.
I ride a gunslinger.
Okay. That's what I was thinking of. So you were with the Regulators, and then now you're with Premier. How did that change come about? What made you decide to do that?
It was one of those things where I wanted to be part of something bigger. To be part of a team, I think means something, but the team has to have a goal. It has to be going somewhere. And the challenge with Regulators, we formed that here in Texas. We were part of a different team, but we were doing all the heavy lifting for that team. And we're like, well, if we're doing all the heavy lifting, why don't we just do our own thing? That way we can govern ourselves. And we ended up picking, adding a couple other states. And we're calling ourselves a national team. But are you really a national team if you're not rostering and doing team sheets?
Right.
To me, it felt like just like I was on on a team that's not really going anywhere. What are we trying to obtain? Right. And So unfortunately, we weren't moving in the right direction, and we had some people because a lot of people get in the sport and they expect to really dominate, and then they, especially when they go expert, a lot of times they just start getting whooped, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm done,"
Right.
because they lose their motivation. And so most of our Metroplex riders just started kind of petering out, not showing up, and it was down to 2 people here. We still had a heavy presence down in Austin at the Capital City track and other states as well, but I just felt we were not really moving in the right direction, and so I was like, "Hey, unfortunately, this is ran its course for me," and so I left the team after it was after occasions last year, and I was approached by a couple different teams and very good people. Um, but I was looking for something that was, like I said, bigger, something I could be part of something, um, and have that real connection with, a lot of camaraderie. And Premier had extended an invite to me, and I said, "Well, let me think about it." And yeah, that's where I wanted to be. So that's how I found myself there. And we have, we were national last year. We're factory this year. We picked
Right.
up Profile as a sponsor,
Nice.
and we're doing okay for considering who we have as riders, and we have some phenomenal riders.
You do.
The,
You have some
yeah, the
awesome.
problem is when it's not our riders aren't an issue. It's the fact that the age of our riders. We don't have the rider
Right.
count to really be competitive with Albies, Biolab, and yeah, I wanted to be Jana's roommate. Darn right I did. Who wouldn't? You ever
She's
see that girl ride?
amazing.
She
I
is
love her.
amazing.
I love her.
Y'all have a great group.
Yeah.
Oh, we have
of riders, man.
we have a phenomenal group of riders, very
Right.
top notch, and the best part is not only are they good riders, they're great people,
Yeah,
Right.
and that's what I really
100%
wanted to
right.
be around, was people who build each other up. And now, don't get me wrong, when I'm with my boys, we bust each other's balls all the time. There's just no stopping that. But
Right.
we also continue to build each other up, and that's what Premier is all about: is building each other up and supporting one another. And I just love their mission. I love the sponsors that we have. We had one come on last year, the Superman Joe Crow Foundation. Phenomenal what they do, and one of our big sponsors right there. And like I said, it's the people that are getting our sponsors are really, they're good about finding perfect fits for us. It's not about just chasing money. It's about finding people
Right.
who also can be part of our goal, our vision as a team.
Right.
That's cool.
That's awesome. So were those the deciding factors when choosing a team then? Like,
No, it's what can I get out of them? No, I'm kidding.
With them.
Yeah.
What's in it
No,
for
it
me?
was
right.
it was about can I connect with these people? And it wasn't about what I could get out of, from them. It was, what can we do together?
Right.
And what can we build as a team? And
Right.
we are, as a team, considering we don't bring many riders in our classes at nationals. Every once in a blue moon I'll have a semi, but for what we have, the amount of riders that we have in our classes, we're very, very competitive. And I think right now we're sitting in the top 10 as a factory team, our first year as a factory team.
That's
And
amazing.
yeah, we're doing great. And
Cool.
like I said, most importantly, they're really, really good people.
Right. So what is the team's goals moving forward then? Like what is it? I mean, obviously you're the type of person who really enjoys like a structure, like something that'll help you progress. So as a team, is it just to I mean, what's their goals moving forward?
To dominate, take over the world.
Oh, yeah.
Was that Pinky in the Brain? The main thing is to continue progressing and finish the best we could possibly do. And it's not, we are, I think as a team, we're realists. We're not going to be the number one factory team.
Right.
You can't be the number one factory team unless you have 17 to 20-year-olds that bring in that 35, 40 rider count, as
Right.
well as the younger kids. We would like to get there, but there is a lot of money required to do that.
Right. Exactly.
And will we get there? I don't know, but Premier's moving in a phenomenal direction. Tyler is working on our compound. They're in Louisiana.
Right.
I think
I had heard about that.
and it's going to be phenomenal once it's all up and going. I think we'll get there. I don't know what the long term, like how long it's going to take us to get there. I hope I could be part of that all along the way. But in the meantime, we're just going to go and we're going to do our thing and continue representing our sponsors well, and more importantly, showing up for each other every single time.
Right. And go ahead.
What I like about the whole Premier and with you, I mean, there's nothing fake.
Right.
They're the same on the track. They're a little more aggressive on the track, but I mean, y'all are good people.
Right.
I mean, you was great to us from the first day we met you. I was scared shitless and everything, and you're like, dude, calm down.
Yeah.
It's all right. There's plenty of people here to help you and everything, and everywhere you go. I mean, there's a time to be serious when you're racing, and then when you're in the pits or anything else, y'all have always been
very friendly.
Correct.
Very welcoming, for sure.
And it's everywhere you go.
Right.
It's not just one race. It's not just at Cowtown, or it's just not at DeSoto. It's anywhere we get to meet any of y'all. Y'all carry the same attitude with you and the respect for each and everybody else. So, I mean, we love that.
We are definitely fans of the Premier team. We watch you when you are racing. When we can watch you, obviously, sometimes when we're out racing ourselves, it's hard to watch our teammates, right? And watch our friends. But we try. And when we're home and we're not there like we were in Nashville, we watched you then. And you should hear this guy. He's anybody he knows. He's on that couch. Going, ow, 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 ow. It's so funny. He corrects me.
Well, that's awesome. We appreciate the support.
Yeah. And Jana's my girl. I'm just saying. I love that girl.
Yeah.
She is awesome. Went to West Texas to race her, and she she was, I think, crossing the finish line before I even hit the first turn. So
that girl is quick. She's very gifted.
Yeah.
Yes, she is.
Exactly.
And most importantly, she's a beautiful person.
Right. She definitely is. Super friendly to everybody. It's amazing to have that much talent and not have to be humble about it.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
that's what really.
Well, that's why they all make a great team together.
Right. They all seem to be happy.
Like I said, there's nothing fake. It's all real.
That's what I was going to say. I would agree. We have very authentic personalities on our team.
Right.
Everybody's humble. We have some phenomenal riders, but they don't walk around like their poop don't stink.
I love it. I love it. A lot of people know you as a racer, but a lot of them don't really realize what you've been through in your life story. You talked a little bit about your military background, but we briefly kind of touched on it a little bit today when we were speaking, but I would love to hear, if you're comfortable talking about, how the military affected you. And aren't you involved in like a nonprofit, or is that what that is?
Yeah. So from the military side, I joined in 1998. I was enlisted. I did intelligence work for 6 years or so before I actually I ended up going to officer school, became an officer, and then I was an armor officer. Went to Iraq, got to lead soldiers in combat in Baghdad. It was a phenomenal experience. There are a few honors in life that I see that are as high as becoming a parent, being a father or a mother.
Right.
A great honor. Leading soldiers in combat is another huge honor, because these people entrust their lives with you. And not only do it's their parents that are entrusting their sons and daughters' lives with you. And something I took very seriously. And so Yeah, I was a platoon leader in Iraq, and I was a scout platoon leader. I got wounded, and well, I had one soldier that was wounded in September, or excuse me, July, I believe. Thankfully, he wasn't wounded seriously, but it was bad enough. He went through bullet hit him like center mass, all the way down to the last layer of his protective insert. He got a nice bruise with his dog tag.
Oh.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it was in August, August 24th. This is where during the height of all the sectarian violence,
Right.
and September 24th, or excuse me, August 24th of 2006, one of my soldiers was killed. That was Sergeant King. Devastating loss. And then August 14th of the same year, so a month and a half later, I was shot. Sniper shot me. He got me from a couple hundred meters down the road.
Wow.
He shot me just below my body armor, in my stomach, through my pelvis, out through my buttocks.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I thought for sure that I thought I couldn't move. So I was kind of paralyzed just from the shock, and I couldn't. I was ready to die right then and there. I turned my head, because I still had my helmet on, and I turned my head kind of to the direction that the shot had came from, and I was like, "All right, let's go." And another shot didn't ring out, thankfully, because he was a disciplined sniper. He shot, he displaced, moved somewhere else, and finally, when I was able to call out for help for the medic, my men took great care of me. They got me into Humvee, and I just remember going because my butt hurt so bad, and I thought I was like, man, I can't believe I got gumped. I got shot in the butt. That was the thought that went through my head, and
Gumped.
yeah. So I mean, my ass was literally on fire. And so I get to the hospital, and I'm like, hey, somebody going to contact my wife? And they're like, yeah. And I said, no, bring me a phone. Let me call. I said, am I going to make it? And they said, yeah, you should be able to make it. I said, okay, then bring me a phone. Let me call her. And they bring me a phone. And at this point in time, I'm high as a kite. And I'm like, what the hell you want me to do with this? You wanted to call your wife? I'm like, oh yeah. And this is before everybody had a cell phone, so I actually remembered her number. Now, who remembers phone numbers these days? And so I'm talking to her, and I'm like, yeah, I got shot. And she's like, what? And keep in mind the time zone difference. It's like 5 a.m. here in Texas or something.
Right.
And I said, yeah, I got shot in the ass. I said, but I think I'm going to be okay. And the doctor's like, no, you got shot in the stomach. And I'm like, what? And he pulls up my gown, and he points to where I got shot, and it cauterized on the way in.
Oh, my goodness.
So long story short, multiple surgeries, had to get medevaced all the way back, a couple surgeries in Germany, a couple surgeries in Iraq, a couple surgeries in Germany, more surgeries here in Texas. And so it just destroyed me mentally for the most part. And fast forward 8 years, and I was still serving, and the Army was like, hey, you know what, we're going to downsize. And because I couldn't run, I couldn't do PT, I couldn't do push-ups, I couldn't do sit-ups. I was basically I was walking, but I wasn't physically fit or anything like that. And they're like, we're going to retire you. And I was like, okay, great. It's a good time to retire. And I liked what I was doing, but I was also frustrated because I was noticing a lack of accountability in the military, and that just drove me crazy. So it was I saw it with the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Marines. Nobody was holding anybody accountable for being idiots and wasting taxpayer money.
Right.
And so I was like, yeah, it's time to get out. And so I got out in 2014, and that's when my struggle really began. It was 2014, 2018. I struggled very poorly. I had massive suicidal ideation. So
What does that mean exactly?
That means I wanted to kill myself every day.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And if it wasn't for my wife and my son, the fear of them finding me or what I didn't want to put them through that. And
Right.
And then thankfully one day I mentioned how I lost my one soldier, Sergeant King, and in 2016 I finally reached out to his widow, and was like, yeah, do you really know who I am? And I was his leader. I was responsible for him essentially being killed. I had a lot of survivor's guilt over that, and
Right.
so I I arranged to go out there and meet her and his kid, and visit his gravesite and stuff, and did that. And I've been going every year since. But even since then, I was still struggling, and so somehow I found my way to save a warrior, and was really able to get my life back by doing the work.
Right.
So it's interesting though, as far as my Army training and how it helps me with BMX, it's just that never quit attitude. When you're tired, you're going down the track and your legs are burning, you just got to do it one more pedal stroke.
Right.
And I don't get nervous in the chutes. I don't get nervous up in the gate. By being in combat, being shot at is much more intense than having to be in the starting gate.
I imagine. I don't think there's any comparison to that.
Zebra.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, and I never thought I'd be able to ride a bike, once because of my injuries, literally I had the bullet, it went through my pelvis and damaged it, and a lot of nerve damage and stuff. And so I mean, could it be, if I didn't have the injuries, would I be faster? Would I be better? Possibly. Do I care?
Right.
No.
No.
I don't care. I'm doing the best I possibly can, and that's what matters.
Right. That's amazing.
Now, is this your better half here?
Yeah, that's my wife. She's the biggest supporter.
She probably needs to have her name on there as well, because I'm sure she suffered just like you did without.
Oh, if not, she might have suffered more. I don't know. But she's not my wife from the entire time, though. She was the wife that found me. So because of my PTSD, my marriage fell apart, and I found Michelle in 2008 is when we started dating, and I told her up front, I got PTSD, and these are all reasons why you should run. And if she told any of her girlfriends this, they'd be like, honey, you need to run. Get away now. And I was like, hey, I'm not going to waste my time, catching feelings for you. Oh, how sweet. Catching feelings for you. If you can't handle this stuff now, then let's not even bother. And so she's seen me at my worst. And the greatest thing is that she handled me at my worst. Now she has me at my best. And BMX,
there you go.
BMX has been a huge part of that, of keeping me healthy. And it's not just physically healthy, it's keeping me mentally healthy.
Right.
Good support, man.
Very good support. That's amazing. Having someone in your corner matters for sure.
Yes, it does.
Yes. And like I said, my wife is my biggest fan. She tunes in, and now that it's on Flow, she's listening to the audio feed and all that. And
cheering you.
We may get Flow. I don't know.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And even my sister-in-law is a big fan too. And today's her birthday, so if you're listening, Marcy, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, sister-in-law. That's awesome. Very cool. Well, that's amazing. That is a serious recovery story that is so well worth listening to. And I must tell you, start off, thank you for your service.
Most 100%. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service. It is well appreciated.
We are huge into that.
Yes, we are. We come from a family of military ourselves.
Yep.
Both sides. Dan actually broke some laws and tried to get put into the military, and they caught him. And
there you go.
He almost went to jail from lying about his asthma. Back then, that was a big deal. So, but It's okay. You never went to jail for that.
So anyway, thank
Yes.
you again. It's just listening to you talk about, being shot by a sniper. You don't get to. You might see it on a TV show that somebody
Right.
survived a sniper shot, but I mean, they're professionals.
Right.
Hey,
And
you know what's crazy? I have the video of me being shot by the sniper.
No. How
Yeah.
did you not?
Yes. So the sniper, it was part of a sniper cell called Juba, the Baghdad sniper, and they
Okay.
they were making did his propaganda video. It's probably about 45 minutes long altogether, and he's got these numerous sniping attacks, and I was one of those, and there, it's just straight up propaganda, but
Wow.
I was one of those in that group that was
Jeez.
featured in the video, so I'm kind of internet famous.
Well, I mean,
that's amazing.
how did that make you feel seeing that though? Like, was that traumatic, or were you just kind of like, wow, I'm a badass? Like, which one?
No, it actually, I had no idea what happened. And so I was actually in the hospital. I had to have a surgery. This is like, I was in the hospital for 3 weeks or so when it happened. And then I got out, and then for Christmas, I flew to California, it was California, but I had to have surgery that night because I was having a massive issue. And I got an email from my platoon sergeant. He's like, "Hey, sir, I got the video of you being shot. Do you want to see it?" And I was like, "Yeah." At this point, I had no idea what happened.
Right.
I knew I was shot. I didn't know from where he was, anything like that. And it helped answer questions.
Right.
And when I saw the video, and it didn't bother me. That's when I knew that me being wounded wasn't the issue, because I already had PTSD.
Right.
And that was the thing. When I was in the hospital, I was having these issues. I was actually they thought I was having a seizure. And this doctor is like, "Hey, what's going on? How long have you had seizures?" I said, "Sir, I've never had seizures in my life. I think this is PTSD." And they're like, "Oh, no, it's too soon for you to have PTSD." I was like, "You dumbass. I've been here since December. It's October. I've been through some shit."
Right.
It had already set in. And so I knew it wasn't that was the issue. And, fast forward through all of this recovery work, losing my soldier was very devastating too, but that wasn't my issue. I thought it was,
Right.
but my issue was layers lower than that.
And I suppose all of that, program that you went through kind of helped bring all of that to light. You kind of just worked through it then?
No, what the Save a Warrior did is there was a loud pop, and that was my head coming out of my ass.
Oh.
Yeah, because I was lying to myself about so much stuff. And I went to see a psychologist every week for 4 years straight. And she'd ask me, what about your childhood? What about this? And I'm like, yeah, it was no different than everybody else's. I don't think anybody really had a perfect childhood, but look at how accomplished I am now. I led soldiers in combat. I command a company. I've done this.
Right.
I could, but I was lying to myself. And it was they called me on it. They're like, "Well, if you're so sure of it, what are you doing sitting in this seat?" And I'm like, "Well, shit, you might be right."
Right.
And so I started doing my recovery, and I had to have a conversation with my parents. That was one of the things I really needed to do. And this sounds, kind of cliche and everything, but I went to California. I flew to California, and I had a conversation with my father. My parents long since divorced, and it was a very organic conversation with him. And I told him, as we're talking about my experience with Save a Warrior and stuff, I was like, "Hey, I need to apologize." And he's like, "What?" Kind of thing. I was like, "I need to apologize for expecting you to be a perfect parent." And I said, "I realize now that you were doing the best you could with the tool set that you had. And I forgive you for not being a perfect parent." And when I said that, I dropped tremendous weight. It was very powerful. And my dad, thankfully, I don't know how he felt about it. He never said a word. And it was impressive because I didn't need him to say a word. I just needed him to hear me. And somehow he knew that. And then I tried to have the same conversation with my mom. Didn't work out that way, which is unfortunate. But you know, and she's long past now, but it was unfortunate that I couldn't get that closure with her, because my mother and I were pretty close for quite a long time. But she wanted to make excuses, and I was trying to explain to her, this isn't about you. It isn't about what happened. It's what I need to say in order to get rid of this weight. But it was all through going through all that and working that other program. Save a Warrior just helped pull me out of denial and giving me, you know, basically called me on my rackets, my crap. Right. And then working this other program, you know, I worked, and I still to this day, it's essentially, you know, how does an alcoholic stay sober? One day at a time. How does a drug addict stay sober? One day at a time, 1 hour at a time, you know, that kind of concept. I have to do my work every single day in order to maintain my emotional sobriety. And I'm happier, you know, I'm healthy because of it. I still remember what I knew about Save a Warrior going into it was so much. Some of it was like meditation. And I remember kissing my wife goodbye when I was going. I was like, yeah, I'll see you in a week. I'm going to go learn how to effing meditate. I thought it was the lamest thing. Greatest thing I ever learned to do was meditate, man. I went from being a reactor in my life to being a responder in my life. So reaction is based on our training. So, you know, like in BMX, the light turns red. What do? We go. We don't think about it. We just go. Well, your kid says something to you, pops off to you. What do? We react. And a lot of times when we're dealing with relationships, we react in the wrong manner. And meditation helps slow me down so I don't react. I actually take time and I respond appropriately, which has really strengthened my relationships with my marriage and with my friends and family and such as well.
That's amazing.
You might need to teach Danelle how to meditate, man.
I'm going to meditate right now.
Oh, it's awesome. It's such an awesome thing to do.
I'm speechless. I mean, I had no earthly idea that you have went through this and the obstacles. I mean, and just like everybody else is chiming in on here, it's like you're incredible.
Right. That's amazing.
I mean, and to be able to talk about it it's a blessing to anybody that can listen to it, who can hear. Yeah. Because I should have brought a damn box of Kleenex because I mean, it's just, I mean, I want to give you a hug and say thank you, you know, so much, you know, and I'm gonna shut up. So.
Right. Thank you. No, thank you for acknowledging it. You know, for what that's what my life is about now is serving others and, you know, so others don't have to suffer like I did. And I get to, you know, in BMX, I'm meeting veterans and so I'm sorry, you asked me, you know, 20 minutes ago before I started rambling about, you know, nonprofit work and stuff. And so as I got healthy and everything, it was something my wife and one of my visions was to have property and have horses and stuff and have a retreat kind of getaway for veterans and stuff. And so that's why we bought the place we bought. And after I started getting healthy, I was like, you know, I think I want to start a nonprofit. In 2019, my wife and I, we formed a nonprofit called Unsettled Conversations, and to work with veterans that have PTSD or first responders, and work with horses. And it was, you know, it's crazy how things just fall into place when you're going on the right path. You don't. It's that whole serendipity kind of thing. Right. It was crazy. I had one of my good friends from the Army. He was here visiting, and he left. And after he left, the mailman came, and I got the notification from the IRS that we were approved as a 501c3 that same day.
Awesome.
And then something else had happened. And then I had my, you know, the first client reached out and all this. So everything just started falling in place. And so if we open our eyes to see what's out there, we will see signs of the direction that we're supposed to go. But we have to be willing to look. And
Right.
that's the problem. So much time we're spending our time like this now that we're not seeing all the signs of the universe that are talking to us.
Exactly.
So yeah, we were doing that, and unfortunately, the sad thing was it didn't take off like the way I had hoped.
Right.
And I got a lot of interest from people all the time, and most of the time it was when they were in crisis. Now, keep in mind, I'm not a therapist. I'm basically like a life coach, a mentor kind of thing. And I'm not telling them what to do. I'm telling them this is what worked for me.
Right.
And so I get a lot of interest and everything, and then they would be out of crisis and they wouldn't follow through.
Gotcha.
So it just kind of fizzled out. But what I'm finding in BMX is it doesn't matter if they're a veteran or first responder. Trauma is trauma.
Right.
And that's one thing that a lot of people mix up is that it becomes this measuring contest. Oh, well, of course you have PTSD, you were in combat. Like, how's my trauma from combat any different from somebody's trauma from getting their butt whooped by their parent or anything like that?
Right.
Trauma is trauma. And so I'm able to still be of service to others, even in the BMX world, when I'm talking to people. And like I said, I strive for these authentic conversations, connections with people. When I ask you, hey, Danielle, how are you doing? I don't want to, oh, fine. No, I'm serious. Like, how are you doing? What's going on? Tell me what's been hurting. What are you struggling with? Those are the conversations I want to have because that's what freaking matters.
Right. Exactly.
And
exactly.
And that's why I think, we, especially in the veteran community and first responder, we have a suicide epidemic because men are not used to talking to other men or being able to air what's going on with them. They don't have these authentic conversations. And we need to get back, or we need to get to a point where men are feeling safe to have these conversations with other men. And not be afraid to tell, hey, you know what, I love you. Instead of being somebody like, oh, you're so gay. It's stupid.
Exactly.
And who cares if you're gay anyways? Be who you are.
Be who you are. Love everyone.
So that's what I strive for, is these authentic conversations, and I try to have them in the connections with everybody. And I found so much of that in BMX, and whether it's in the shoots. I was talking to a gentleman this weekend, and in Nashville, he just retired, 35 years in the fire service. I can only imagine the amount of trauma that he's seen.
Exactly.
And so we need other people to be open and willing, and just to hold space, just for these others to talk. Right.
Exactly. So I'm curious though. So from the time when you, I guess, got on the healing path to the time you found BMX, was that like almost instant, or was there a break in there?
No, there was a couple years. I started on the path of healing probably 2019. And it was just really going in the right direction. And 2 years later is when I found the BMX stuff. And like I said, I have a kick-ass posse. We call ourselves it's the Alt P BMX posse. It's all Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas posse of BMX.
Awesome.
Great men, love them to death. But it's what BMX has done is further strengthened this recovery, because it allows me to be present physically and mentally, and not just for myself but for others.
Right.
There you go.
Right. That's amazing. That is so amazing. So
you're the witness.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just, so when you do people we didn't know a lot of this about you. We did know that you had a nonprofit at one time. We knew you were from DeSoto. We knew that, they call you the pot stirrer, so we just assumed you like you're loud and proud, which is the way I look at that phrase. But
that's a woman.
But
that's a woman's perspective. Yeah.
But that's not where the pot stirrer comes from.
Okay, well, tell us about that. Now I'm curious.
Because I came from nowhere, And all of a sudden, I'm in mains at nationals, and they're like, "Who in the hell is this kid or this guy that's stirring up the pot?"
There we go.
That's
There
where it
we
came
go.
from. But do I occasionally stir shit up? Yes, I'm guilty.
Hell yeah.
That is amazing. And I really, I mean,
Oh my God, you need to write a book, man.
right?
Yes.
That would be an amazing.
I'm being no smart ass.
No.
I'm for real because you have a story and your story will help
well, and
a
it's
ton of people.
and you tell it well. Like you're not someone who just, just kind of says, well, I did this and this happened. You tell a story and you can feel it. You can feel it in your soul.
Yes.
So yeah.
Yes.
Yes. I mean, this is amazing. Like I knew we were kind of going here, but I'm going to tell you something. This really, or a movie. Yes, Brad, a movie. I mean,
correct.
And the way that you found happiness, you found peace, strength. The way that you're able to utilize this in BMX now,
and for other people,
right?
I mean, you just.
What does he mean? You're a real gator as well. Watch out, he's a real gator as well. What does that mean?
I don't know. That's my sister. She's a little cuckoo sometimes. What do you mean by that, Beth?
That means he can bite your head off. Probably.
I guess so. Probably. I'm like, I can bite. And she would know. I probably bit her quite a few times when we were kids.
She said he's an instigator.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but okay.
I don't believe it. I don't see it. Only his sister would know that. Only his sister would know that.
Yeah, well, this is
right.
I can listen to you all night long.
I could go as long as you guys want. It's up to you.
Don't say that. Don't say that. We could keep going forever.
Dude, for real. I mean, I feel better just by listening to you.
Here's the way I look at it. If me spending an extra half an hour with you guys is going to help anybody out there, I'm here for it.
That's amazing.
It's more than that.
That is amazing. So, what was your direct job when you were in the military? What did you do? What was the title?
At what time?
Well, when you started, when you started the military?
At Intel.
Yeah, I started in intelligence. I was a linguist, so all this stuff happened in Iran. That was my area of specialty. So I actually learned the language of Persian. Was in school for a full year. I graduated top of my class. I could read it, I could write it, I could speak it, and that's what I did for the first 6 years of my military career. Was Persian linguistic stuff. And then when I went to officer school, I was an armor officer. So I had tanks, I had Bradleys. So I had Abrams tank, I had Bradleys, and I had Humvees. When I was in Iraq, I didn't have tanks. I just had Bradleys and I had Humvees. And I was a scout platoon leader, meaning scouts traditionally are the ones that go out and they get involved with the enemy, and they don't get into a decisive engagement. They just kind of keep the enemy focused on them while the heavy machinery, the tanks, come around and kick their ass.
Okay.
So that was but that's in a traditional role. Iraq, there was nothing traditional in Iraq for this war.
Right.
And then after I got shot, I was like, you know what? And I had been blown up too. And I was like, I don't mind being shot at. Being shot at is not a problem. Being shot is a problem. And so I was like, let me see. I still have my language skills. I still have my clearance. I had top secret clearance. And I was like, let me go back to see if they'll take me in intelligence. And so I went to Intel, and then they were talking about retiring me at that point in time. And I said, what can I do? And they said, hey, we want to retain you, and this is the career path that we want you to do. And at this point in time, my wife at the time and my kids had moved to California. And I had developed this 5-year plan that I'm going to go back to California. I'm going to go to language school. I'm going to go to grad school out there, and I'm going to command out there. I'm going to be out there for 5 years.
Right.
And this was in my head. And the Department of the Army, I get a phone call from this full bird colonel, and he says, "Hey, Rob, I want to retain you in intelligence, and this is what I'm thinking about doing.
Right.
And I want to make you a foreign area officer, which is kind of like a working embassy, be the subject matter expert for a region." And
Okay.
he goes, "That's what I want to do with you, make you subject matter expert for this region. I'm going to send you to Monterey for language school. You're going to do command out there." And he told me my 5-year plan. I was like, holy shit, talk about things lining up.
Right.
And
Exactly.
so I went there in Monterey, and I was in command. I had commanded a company of 250 soldiers that were learning Arabic, and had a successful command. And then they're like, "Hey, now you're going to go learn Arabic." And now this is where my story just kind of starts going downhill, or my PTSD starts going downhill.
Okay.
At this point in time, I'm 40 years old or so, and I'm on tremendous amounts of drugs. Oxycodone, Oxycontin, Xanax. I forget what else. I mean, it was a cocktail of drugs, because I still had tremendous amounts of pain. I had a lot of nerve pain. I had anxiety. I had all these things. So, and I take this pill for the pain. Well, and then that creates this problem. So I got to take this pill, and it just all started climbing on top of each other. And I couldn't learn the language. I could have, maybe if I was younger and if I was of clear mind, but really
Right.
struggled with Arabic. So I lasted a few months, and I was like, no, I can't do it. And so then I became the associate dean. So I was a senior military person in the Persian schoolhouse, and which is awesome, because that gave me a unique perspective. I had learned the language. I speak the language. I commanded there, so I understand the ins and outs from the student perspective, from the company perspective, all the different perspectives. And I was doing that job when the Army said, "Hey, we're going to retire you at this point in time." So
Gotcha.
that's what I did, more or less.
Gotcha. Well, that makes sense. So, you've been through so much, and you obviously worry about other people, and you care about other people, and that's super important to you. What do you think are some things that people misunderstand about PTSD?
That I think one of the biggest things that people expect us to be violent, have violent outbursts, or another one is I think there is this myth that it doesn't go away. I can't tell you 100% that mine's gone, but I could tell you it's been a long time since I've had that I've noticed that I have any signs of PTSD.
Good for you.
Yeah.
And then that's because I do my daily things. Every single day I wake up and I decide, am I going to have a shitty day, or is the day going to have a shitty me? Or am I going to, I get a choice.
Right.
And it's all about my perception on life and what is happening to me, as opposed to, I could be a pessimist or I could be optimist.
There you go.
Right. Did you find it real helpful to have people to talk to, or companionship, or, was that just such a lost space for you to be in that you just couldn't figure it out on your own?
At first I couldn't. It was many times what happened, especially with veterans. What do you know about what I went through?
Right.
You can't possibly understand. You have all these books on your wall, and yes, you have this doctorate degree or PhD or MD, whatever. But what do you know about my experience? And it's a racket, quite honestly. We're lying to ourselves, because we're making ourselves be much bigger than what we are. Because remember what I said earlier, trauma is trauma.
Right.
And it doesn't matter what the person's credentials are. The main thing is the answers lie inside of ourselves. And it's a matter of having somebody pull these answers out by asking the right questions. And if we look inside of ourselves and keep asking ourselves why, I think my wife mentioned this to me a couple of years ago, this concept. It's like Yoshimura Toyota has this thing called the 5 whys.
Okay.
The question why. You could get
Yeah.
to the origin of the problem within 5 whys. Why is this happening? Okay. Then you go one level deeper. It's like Shrek said. Ogres are like onions. They have layers. So you got to keep on pulling back the layers until you get to the core issue.
Right. Exactly.
And so for the most part, I mean, my wife has been a huge supporter of everything. And I wish more men had a person in their life like her, that I'm able to be vulnerable with her without judgment.
Right.
And that's huge. And not once has she ever thrown that back in my face.
That's amazing.
Or made me feel like I was less than for crying over something, anything like that. I don't feel judged. And so I know she's a safe person. And men need that kind of stuff in life. We need a partner that will listen to us and let us vent and talk. And we need other men that we could talk to about that. Now, in BMX, I found some people I could have these deep conversations with, but for some, they're not ready for that.
Right.
And when they're ready, you know, we can have those conversations, but it's a matter of being there for each other, however, showing up where they're at when they're there.
Right. Exactly. And I think there's a huge misconception that men have to be these super strong people all the time, that if something happens to them, they're supposed to just power through it and remain strong, remain the protector. But a man can be vulnerable and still be a protector. A man can, you know, it's okay to have feelings and emotions, because honestly, that protector, without expressing those emotions, can become a very unhappy person. And unhappiness results to alcohol abuse, drug abuse. It results to physical abuse, whatever it might be. And, you know, there's just a lot of things that tie to that. And, you know, some people use, you know, therapy, or they go through people to talk to. Some people use a sport to change, like BMX, to kind of help drive them and, you know, help work their things out. When you are actually out on the track, where does your mind go? I mean, like, this has kind of been, you know, a transition for you. Now this is something that you do to benefit your mental health, your physical health, all of that. So does your mind, when you're on the track, do you just shut it off, or is this a healing thing for you still?
No, honestly, you know, like in the gate, it's an excellent question. When I'm up in the gate, like in the chutes and everything, I'm not thinking about the race. And you got to understand, I'm the exception in the sport. I'm not the norm. And I'm trying to say this without sounding douchey, but you know, I'm riding extremely well for how little I've been in the sport, how little time. Right. And if I took it more serious, I would probably be riding better. But it's not about that for me. I don't care about being the top, you know, national one or anything like that. You know, I want to do the best I possibly can with the way I'm doing things, and not have to put in the extra work, because this is my hobby that I love doing. I don't want it to become a job. Right. And so when I'm in the chutes, I'm talking with people just so I can stay relaxed and everything, and possibly help keep them relaxed. Now, I could tell when somebody is in the zone. There are certain riders that are just ultra focused, like Chris Kennedy. Tremendous respect for that guy. He gets in the chutes, he's focused. I won't talk with him while he's in the chutes, because I don't want to take him out of his game. Right. And I'm not about that. I'm not trying to play head games with people and just, you know, let me get in their head so I could, you know, have a better chance of beating them. Right. But you know, and I get into the gate, I'm thinking, wait for red. I'm not thinking about anything else. Gate drops. I can have a perfect plan. The problem is I got 7 other people that are going to try to do something with my plan. You know, and it's like, you know, it's like, was it Mike Tyson said, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the mouth, you know? Exactly. So my thing is go out there and ride my bike, you know, and if I'm chasing the Thunder Midget, that's my nickname for Scott Felt. I'm like, oh, you son of a bitch. You know, I'm watching him, I'm trailing him, and I'm thinking, I'm not thinking about any of my problems or any of my challenges. I'm thinking, okay, where can I set up to pass? And I'm also, because I'm still learning the sport, I'm like, don't do this. Don't make this mistake that you always make, you know, that kind of thing. But other than that, I do my lap and it's what, 40 seconds tops.
Right.
So, I don't think about a whole lot when I'm on the track. It's a matter of, that's the one time I'm still responding, but it's kind of a combination of reaction versus response. I'm reacting to somebody cutting me off, but I'm responding appropriately.
Right.
I'm not getting pissed off. I'm maneuvering around and such.
Exactly. So do you find this still therapeutic, or do you find it more as a sport, a competition type thing now? Like now it's a different level.
It's a little bit of both. And the therapy aspect comes from for me, the therapeutic aspect is having these authentic relationships with my boys.
Right.
These true connections. Like, I have people I ride with at DeSoto. Every practice night I ride with Monty Scott if he makes it, and Scotty Cribbs, and Tim Weiss, and Jay Soto when he makes it. Love riding with those guys, but to be honest, I go out there and 90% of the time I'm shooting my mouth as opposed to running my legs. So I just don't take it that seriously, because to me, that's what I really need. I need these connections with these men to keep myself emotionally sober.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, for sure. So I guess we'll kind of steer back into BMX, but I would really like to kind of know if there's somebody out there struggling watching today who's going through PTSD or whatever it is that they might be recovering from, what are your words to them right now before we move on to a more lighter topic?
There's a way out. There's men out there and women who've been through it, and there is a way out. There is hope. You're not alone. You just got to want it. And when you're ready, we're here for you.
Perfect. I love that. 100%. I love that. So when it comes to BMX, do you think BMX is a little bit too sensitive these days? Changing topic.
I think in certain age groups, maybe.
Right.
Like for my age group, man, it's and maybe I'm too soft, and I want somebody to beat me, and I want to beat others cleanly. I don't want to have to run them off the track in order to beat them. To me,
right.
is it a legit move? Sure, but it's a dick move.
Yeah.
If you have to do that to beat somebody, are you really beating them? Or, if I had somebody this weekend who thought that he transferred first round, and I was like, and I thought they did too, but they changed the motos, and instead of taking 3, they only took 2. And I was like, I could not tell him, and he could just miss second round and not be in the main.
Right.
And I was like, what kind of dick would I be if I didn't tell him, hey, by the way, buddy. So next time I saw him, I was like, hey, dude, they only took 2 of us, so you got to go second round. And if I didn't tell him, it's very likely he would have missed it. And
exactly.
So, I mean, to me, that's just not winning on a fair level.
Right.
And this guy, he's a good competitor, and he's one of those guys that he's right there. He's right on my heels, kind of guy.
Right.
But at the same time, what kind of person would I be?
Right. Exactly.
So now, when they're young, I think they need to learn these moves and such, because they're so young. They may go pro someday, right? I'm not going pro at 54 years old. That ship has sailed. So what's the point of riding a certain way? So I think, the riding in the elements and stuff like that, I don't like it.
Right.
But that's because I'm old. I don't bounce when I hit the ground. I go splat.
Exactly.
So, in some ways, yes, I'm very soft when it comes to it. But there's a reason for it. Why certain aspects of it are soft or sensitive, and some areas aren't. Now, when you got parents that are yelling at kids, oh, you suck! I can't believe you did that. You're riding like that. That's just totally uncalled for. And I mean, I've seen one parent yelling at their kid, "You're slow as a turtle. If you ride like that this next lap, we're not coming back tomorrow." And I'm like, dude, you're taking the fun out of it for your kid.
Right.
The best thing I ever heard a parent say, and I loved it, was the kid comes off the track and says, "I finished last." And the parent says, "Okay. Did you give it your best effort?" And the kid said, "Yes." The parent said, "That's all I care about.
Right.
That's all that matters." And because you mentioned earlier, we're on the track. We're competing with other people on the track, but we're competing against ourselves.
Exactly.
And as I tell new experts is expect to get your ass beat. You're going to get spanked around when you just move into expert until you learn how to ride at the expert level.
Right.
But you look at you got to set your goals. You got to make attainable goals. First, focus on, okay, what's my lap time? And decrease that lap time every lap. And then make it, maybe the next time the goal is, okay, I'm going to make mains. And so you got to make these achievable goals. So when you make them, it's like, yes, that's a success.
Exactly.
I was in Bakersfield 2 weekends ago, and I went out there expecting to get spanked. And I did. But I'm not going to get better unless I ride with these better and faster riders.
Right.
And, so for me, I had on Friday, I was racing Jason Silva on Cruiser, and I beat him. And it was just a moto. Motos don't really mean anything, but I beat him. I've never beat Jason Silva. And not only that, I had Jim Nelson. He was in the second rack. My time was faster than both of those, so I had lane pick for the main. That was my win for that weekend.
Right.
There you go.
It wasn't the fact I didn't have to beat him on the track. But that's what I took away from it was, you know what? They are beatable. Right. And I don't mean any disrespect to those guys. They're phenomenal riders. Rick Lowry out there too. Oh my gosh, love riding with Rick. Those West Coast riders are freaking fast.
They are.
And not only they're fast, they're really talented. Yeah. And so, I go out there and ride with them in order to make myself better. And it was, Wells and I were talking at DeSoto a month ago, whatever. And I forget the phrase he used, but it's that whole concept of if you're the smartest man in the room, you're in the wrong room. And right. if you're the fastest person at your track, you're probably at the wrong track.
Probably. Right. Yeah.
And that would be what, yeah.
That's why he's started moving over to DeSoto more too. It's just for the competition, for the kids more or less, but and him for sure. Well, that's honestly 100% accurate. So you're from DeSoto, right? That's your track. That's
my track. Yes, ma'am.
That's a nonprofit track. And there's a lot of nonprofit tracks out there. We were talking before, we kind of dove into, what your thought process was on nonprofit tracks. I know there's a lot of different ideas about how a nonprofit track should be run, but I really, really would like for you to kind of dive into what you think a profitable or a successful nonprofit track should look like.
That's a great question. To me, when you're talking nonprofits technically belong to the people because the people are subsidizing. The people are paying the taxes for that business, right?
Right.
And so the way I see a nonprofit track is the track itself should be the rider's track, as in the riders should have a say in how that track operates. You still have your TO,
right? You
still have a board, but the riders have a say in who's on that board and who's going to be the TO. Because you get into situations where the riders have no say on any of that stuff, and they just get disgruntled, and then they stop showing up, and certain circumstances, the riders don't have a say in who's on the board. Who does?
Right.
So you get the board voting for themselves, and in my opinion, that is a recipe for disaster. And it leaves, like I said, it can make a lot of people disgruntled, and it doesn't go in the direction that the riders want it to go in. It goes in the direction that the board wants it to go in, or the TO wants it to go. So I would love to see nonprofit tracks run with a lot of input from the riders, and because once again, the track belongs to them. You should never hear a TO or a board member say, "That's my track." No, that's not your track. That's our track.
Right. That makes a lot of sense. So you think like a voting system would be the best?
Hit the
best
button,
solution?
Hit the
Hit
button.
the button. I gotta find the button.
Hit the
You're
button.
killing me. You hit the button. Where's the dang button? There. Yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Yeah. So you think like a voting system would be the best thing? Like all of the parents who are, or like the members of the, the members of the track, the ones that call that their home track, they should have like a voting system, or you think like a city council type meeting, or what would that look like?
I think definitely that they should have, some tracks are doing something like that. Some tracks are really good at being transparent, and I've seen this West Texas, Midland, West Texas BMX, and a few other tracks across the country that I follow. They put out newsletters about what's going on, and they have meetings and stuff. I think Cape Coral has a monthly meeting, and they encourage the riders to attend. And if they show up, they get a free practice.
Right.
And so there's that buy-in that you know what's going on, and you're bought into the system. You're part of it, and
You have a voice.
yes, you have a voice. And so, should there be a voting system? Yes, I feel there should be. The question is how do you go about that to make it work right? And
Right.
the reason why I mention that is because some people come into BMX, they're in it for a month or 2 months or a season. That's it, and then they're out.
Right.
So should they have a voice? And so you have to look at the metrics and decide, okay, what is a rider's vote worth compared to a board member's vote? And so maybe it's the rider's vote counts for 1/3, the votes for the board is 2/3, something. But it's the vote. I feel that the rider should have a say in the direction of it, and therefore, yes, a vote of some sort. What that vote of a rider weighs compared to a board member, I don't know.
Right.
But I think there's better ways of doing it. And I think some tracks are doing it right. I just don't know all the ins and outs of what they're doing.
Right.
I just know when I feel I'm part of a solution, I feel much better about whatever's happening. But when I'm left with no voice, then
Right.
I'm stuck. And that's never fun.
And honestly, the climate, let's just say that the climate of a track can determine whether you become a long-term rider or your family is a long-term rider to the sport. Some of those people who only stick around for 1 or 2 months might have left because they never got the welcome party. They never got, all of that stuff.
There you go.
So I mean, having a rider run, I guess you could say, or a rider, I don't know how to, like an opinion, people having value, bringing value to the table and helping make those decisions can only mean that they, number one, invest more in the track. If you have a say in things, you're going to be more invested and you're going to want what's best for the track, plain and simple. So obviously we want more people to support the track. And the only way that's going to happen is if they feel welcome. You did that for us, just so you know. You probably barely even remember us. We were very green, and I thought he was crazy because he started racing again, and I had never even seen the sport. So it was wild, but you did that for us. So I agree 100%. And I don't know, I don't really know how many tracks are nonprofit. Like I never even looked into that kind of stuff, but I know Chris, he's on here from West Texas. His track, since he has taken over, has improved so much.
Yeah.
Dan did too. He went out there when we were out there working. He went out there separately from me. I went out by myself and felt instantly welcome. It was a wonderful atmosphere. They had no idea who I was. Everybody kind of took us in and, whatever. That's the sign of a good track. When the families are happy and welcoming, that's the sign of a good track. And I don't know if they're nonprofit or not. I have no idea. And is Cowtown nonprofit?
No, that's a private.
That's a
private. But even as a private track, it's ran from a rider's perspective.
Correct.
Because the TO is a rider himself. Craig Prince, awesome rider, love racing with him too.
Yeah.
And so but he runs and he has tremendous support system. Porter Gibbons, longtime Texas BMX guy. I think he was one of the founders or one of the very first people for Cowtown back in the 70s.
Yep.
Right.
And he's like one of Craig's top people as far as being out there part of the track. So they know BMX, they know it from a rider's perspective. So they're phenomenal as far as operating. Even as a private, they still operate in a way that riders appreciate.
Right.
And that helps when when you have a board that knows BMX, but more importantly, when you have a TO who's doing the daily operations that knows BMX. That's huge.
That is huge.
Because it's not just local BMX. It's when you go around from track to track and see how all these different tracks operate, you learn what's great, what's working, what's not working. You learn a lot more. But if you're just staying local, you're not really learning much about how you can improve your own program.
Correct.
Agreed.
Correct. That's awesome. So we might need to start a petition. Rob needs to be on the board. Say it. Look at it. He's like, no, I didn't ask for that, but I'm just saying.
Rob wants to ride his bike, and Rob has strong opinions on how things should be. It doesn't. Here's the thing: it doesn't mean that they're right, but in my mind, they are.
I mean, you put it the way you word it is very effective, and I couldn't agree more. I mean, seriously, I couldn't agree more. That's something that we've talked about many times on our show, is how we can bring more riders and how the atmosphere at a track affects the climate of a track.
Right.
Affects, what happens in the sport.
That's
because
correct.
Nobody comes into the sport a pro. You didn't come in a pro. Right. You had a natural talent that you didn't realize was there. But like me, I have absolutely no talent in the sport. I have to really work hard to just simply get around the track. So for me to stay in the sport, to go to the extreme of hosting a podcast on the sport, I have to have the right people that surround us to make that happen.
Right.
Luckily, we generally do.
And that's key too to so many of these very successful tracks, with a really good core group of volunteers. Like Craig at Cowtown, phenomenal, man. See Donnie's hitting it right there. Track is only good as its volunteers. Donnie Drolet, phenomenal rider, long time rider, great man altogether, and is, I think, probably Craig's lead volunteer. The guy is busts his ass off out there all the time. And we had that. DeSoto had that for quite a while. And I was one of them. I was actually Volunteer of the Year at DeSoto in 21. I think I was also the Ryan Sheehan Award recipient in 22 for DeSoto. And then, we were talking about the climate. If the climate's not right, the morale goes downhill. And, it gets to a point where it's like, how much time do you want to put into something that is not that's affecting your mental health rather than helping it?
Exactly.
And to me, that's the most important thing. I protect my mental health at all costs.
Right.
Good for you.
Good for you. Absolutely. Makes a lot of sense. Well, I love the fact that you are still racing, still killing it out there.
Oh, hell yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So What should tracks? Do you think that's what tracks should really focus on more than just racing? Then, do you think they should be focusing on the climate, or do you think they should be more focused on what the track appearance is or the quality of the track? What's priority for a track to succeed?
In my opinion, the most important thing is the climate.
Okay.
Climate first, because you could have it's I say this often with in regards to people. You could have the most beautiful woman in the world, and she could be a drop dead gorgeous. She's a 10. But if her personality is a 1, then she's a 1.
Right.
You know, and so the same thing, you could have the best track in the nation, but if the climate sucks, people aren't they're not going to want to go there.
Right.
So that's important. And then it has, from there you got to have it's got to be a rideable track that's not going to hurt people. And I forget what order that you asked, but yes, definitely, I think climate is huge. You got to have the right people in place, because if you have somebody that's not a people person, doesn't know how to deal with people, then people, they're just not going to want to come back. You're not going to have your volunteers, and you're not going to have the people that keep coming back to the track. And the thing is that kindness is what do you call it? I can't think of the darn word, such a basic word.
Contagious.
But if I'm kind to you at the track, you're going to be kind to somebody else, and it's just going to spread.
Exactly. Exactly. It's a pay it forward, contagious.
Yes.
Happiness is contagious.
And
one of my favorite movies of all time, Pay It Forward. I love that movie. That concept. Yep. That's how I commanded. That's how I led as a sergeant in the Army, and that's how I commanded. Was if I treat my soldiers right, they're going to become leaders, and they're going to treat their soldiers right. So, what kind of world is that? I just impacted not just the 250 that I commanded. Now they go on their leading soldiers of, just as a squad, say they each have 10. Now it's up to 2,500 people's lives that I've impacted.
Yep.
Phenomenal.
Exactly.
Preach it, brother.
Preach it. Yes. All right. So we are going to take just a second of a break. And because I just realized we forgot to do the red light.
Well, this is way more.
This is way more important. This is way more important.
A freaking giveaway.
Yes, for sure. So we're going to take just a little second, and we're going to go over our gate drop giveaway stuff. We're rolling into that, and then we are going to talk a little bit more about. We kind of really covered a lot of the stuff that we talked about covering, but we do want to do some rapid fire questions, just because I think those are always fun. I think they're always fun. So we are going to do our gate drop giveaway. Today, our sponsor for our gate drop giveaway is
Evil Alloy.
Evil Alloy, yes. And do you want to show them what they can win before we get to the question, or do you want to wait?
But if you spend $50 or more,
you get free shipping.
That's $150.
Oh, no, 150 or more. No, if you spend $50 or more, you get 10% off.
Yep.
Is that? Lord, I'm so bad at this.
It's right there.
So bad. It's right on the top, y'all. It's right on the top. Evil Alloy is our gate drop giveaway sponsor.
Yep. So I'm pulling this out of the bag, little jewelry bag, as I call it. So that's a seat post clamp.
Look how cool that is. He makes some amazing stuff. I'm just telling you. It even says Evil Alloy.
It does say Evil Alloy. The camera wants to focus on everything back here, and it won't go in there. But they're pretty badass, man.
Yeah, they are cool.
And the stems and everything, and we've got the Triton stem on the side pack.
Right.
And it's bad to the bone.
Yeah.
But anyway, we got that. We got some koozies.
We got some koozies.
Free up storage.
Always supporting us.
We got some pins.
Some pins.
We've also got a keychain from Free Up Storage of a
bottle opener.
And it's a bottle opener.
Ah, how cool is that?
And we have a bunch of Evil Alloy stickers, like a whole stack.
Right.
And then we're going to put in
a sticker.
Yeah, he did. We got some Going Rogue BMX stickers. And from Miss Holly Dunn, we've got Taco Rita.
Taco Rita. There we go. Boom, boom. So
that's it.
And that's it? Okay. So in order to win that, we have to go into our yellow light gate drop giveaway. In one sentence, what do you say to yourself when getting in the gate? So that's what the question is, y'all. Put that in the comments. In one sentence, what do you say to yourself when getting in the gate? We are going to kind of roll into our rapid fire, wait and see what people come up with before we do our giveaway. We are going to choose one. I'll choose one. Dan will choose one. Rob will choose one.
And then
so, one sentence. What do you say to yourself when you're getting in the gate? I can tell you what mine is. You know what I say to myself when we're getting in the gate?
Oh, shit.
I say we're just riding a bike. I'm just riding a bike. That's what I tell myself every single time.
Really?
Yep. That's what I say. Just riding a bike because I get nervous. Like I get so nervous I have to go to the bathroom. Like I get nervous.
Oh my God.
Well, I do. I'm a girl. It's how it is. All right. So before we go over these questions, so these answers, rapid fire questions, Rob. Here we go. So I'm going to ask a question without, or Dan's going to, how about let you ask these questions? I like that better. Dan's going to ask a question and you have to say without thinking, quick answers. Okay. No thoughts, no nothing.
You ready?
Blue.
You. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Favorite BMX brand of all time?
Mongoose.
Ooh.
Best race food?
Oh, Italian food.
Sketchiest starting hill?
Oh gosh, last weekend, no. Metro BMX. Only reason was they had these the concrete what do you call it, joints between in lane 3 and lane 6. Those kind of mess with me.
One rider you'd love to battle one more time?
All of them. I love riding all. I mean, the faster the better, man. I love riding with all the men that I ride with, and that's why I'm going around and trying to race with them.
Nice.
Favorite thing about race weekends?
Oh, the people.
Nice.
Last favorite thing about race, or least favorite things about race weekends?
Going home.
What?
But caveat, it's not because I have to go see my wife. It's because I'm leaving.
That's correct. Leaving good people he's with. That's
yeah.
That's what I thought he was going to say.
Yeah, it's having to say goodbye. And was it such sweet sorrows or something like that?
Right.
Your biggest send it moment in BMX?
Jumping the double out of turn 1 this year at Cajuns.
Ooh, that's a good one.
If you wasn't racing BMX, what would you probably be doing?
Oh man, that's I don't want to go dark here. I would still be volunteering somewhere at some nonprofit somewhere. I'd be a service elsewhere in some other way, some other place.
Nice.
Got it. Love it. Love it. Well, we've got lots of people chiming in. We're going to kind of go through them one by one. Y'all pick your favorite.
So everybody go ahead with the question again. What did you ask?
What was the question again? What is the one thing you say to yourself when you're getting in the gate? Let's see. Here we go. This one says, don't fall over.
I like it. Don't cause a crash.
Don't cause a crash.
Don't die.
Don't die. I need my head examined. I feel that one. I feel it. Lord, watch over all of us and let us have some fun. This one says whole shot. Mr. Scott Sloan says winner, winner, chicken dinner. If you ain't first, you're last. That's a good one. Don't crash, gotta work Monday.
Oh Lord.
Yep, that's true too.
Oh, was that Wales?
Yes, that was Wells.
Wales, you're gonna be sitting on your ass anyway in office.
I say breathe, just breathe. It's just a practice lap. Then I take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Beer budget thunder midget says get out, get over, and go. Don says it's all about the fun. Oh, this is a good one. Tacos are at the finish line.
Good one.
Jason Chang says, I say to myself, beep, go. Amanda says, I hope I can clip in and get set up before they drop this gate. I don't clip, so I don't know if Brad was adding to this or if he was talking about something else. Packing your bike. No, this one says don't fall over.
Right.
Don't be late. And then he prays. And this last one says it's just one lap. So we got to pick our favorite.
Yep, Rob, pick your favorite.
Are we going for the funniest? The
whatever
you want.
Floats your boat. And then you're gonna pick one. I'll pick one. Dan will pick one, and then we let everybody else choose their favorites. 1, 2, or 3. You're number 1. So whenever you know, you let us know. I'm going with this one.
Can you scroll back up?
Yep. You want me to scroll up some more?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got yours? Maybe.
Me? Yeah, I have mine.
You have yours?
Yep.
Rob, you need me to keep scrolling again, or you have?
I'm
yours?
not seeing what you're scrolling.
Oh my goodness! All right, do you remember one?
Oh, I remember a few, but I'm just so torn. There's so many good ones.
I know.
Some of them are funny, and some of them are like, oh no, they're serious. You know, that makes sense.
Right. Brad says, pray that no one crashes and no one gets hurt.
Yeah, and I can't scroll them on my computer. I can't.
Oh, man. Okay, so I can read a few more. Let's go back and read them again. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. I got to figure out where we started.
Right there.
Right here. Don't fall over. Don't cause a crash. Don't die. I need my head examined. Lord, watch over all of us and let us have some fun. Full shot. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. If you ain't first, you're last. Don't crash, gotta work Monday. Just breathe. It's just a practice lap. That I take a deep breath and let it out slowly. Get out, get over, and go. It's all about the fun. Tacos are at the finish line. He says, beep, go. I hope I can clip in and set up before they drop this gate. And then I think Bradley says, pray. And then we've got, it's just one lap.
I'm good.
You're good. All right. Who'd you pick?
Or what did you pick?
What'd you pick?
I picked that one that one person said. It was an excellent comment. And yeah, there was others that were good, but not as good as that one. And so I'm picking that one.
Okay. Which one was that?
I picked I picked a very simple one because it shows a true racer's mindset. Whole shot. You got to be, thinking about that. And that's Donnie Jure.
Okay.
Now, not to disrespect, there's some of my family / team members that said something too. And if I voted for you, it'd be like nepotism. So sorry, people, I love you, but
it's all about the answer. If we could make a blind choice, we would, right?
Right.
So number 1 is whole shot. Dan, who did you pick?
I picked. I need to go back and read all of it, but it's
Okay, he's got me going backwards. This one?
Yes.
That one?
Yep.
Oh, he picked that one.
Lord, watch over all of us and let us have some fun.
Yes. Well, and I picked tacos are at the finish line.
Did you?
Yeah.
And I like Jenna's too, but she's my teammate, and so
I know. All right, so number 1, guys, you need to put in the comments which one do you like the best? Whole shot,
which is 1.
Which is 1. Lord, watch over all of us and have fun,
all
which
right.
is number 2. Or tacos are at the finish line.
So we got whole shot, Lord, or tacos.
Yep, hold shot, Lord, or tacos. 1, 2, or 3. We're just going to kind of keep our eyes on that.
Right.
Yes. So, Dan, do you want to kind of keep your eyes on the answers? And I will. We have a couple more things that we can just discuss while we're kind of going through everything.
And we didn't say 1, 2, or 3.
1, 2, or 3. Yep. Just there you go. I'm curious. What keeps you coming back to BMX? What is it that keeps you focused on staying the pace?
Mainly getting away from my wife. No,
you don't believe that for a second. I don't believe.
No, it's the people, it's the relationships. In the recovery world, there's there's a saying is like keep coming back. It works if you work it. And
right.
So, if I keep on working this BMX thing, it's going to keep on helping me stay emotionally sober. So I live for this, to go and see my dudes, my boys, my people. And
right.
Honestly, when I'm at a national and my guys aren't there, my posse, Troy Johnson, Tay Thomas, Chris Kennedy, it's a different mindset for me. And sometimes I really struggle. Like, am I really having a good time? Why am I doing this? And sometimes I doubt myself. It's not that I doubt my riding ability. I just doubt why am I doing it? It's just because my boys, my family's not there. Right. Same thing when I show up to practice night. If Monty, Scotty, Tim, Jay, if they're not there, I struggle. I'm like, I don't want to be here. Screw this. Because that's my social hour. It really is. And like I said, I'm not lying when I say I shoot my mouth more than I shoot my legs at the track. I truly do. Because that's what I live for, is these authentic connections with these people.
I love that.
Yeah.
So what age were you when you started racing, did you say?
49 years old.
49. Oh my goodness. So if you were to talk to another 49-year-old man and convince them to come race BMX, what would you say to convince them?
I'd just come on out, man. It's just riding the bike. It's I would share my story with them, like what it's done for me. And that's the thing. I can't tell people what to do.
Right.
And it's the same thing when I'm mentoring somebody. I can't tell them what to do. What I can tell them is what has worked for me. I can share my story, and this is what it's done for me.
Right.
You may get the same results, but I guarantee you, if you don't try something, you're going to get the same results that you have now, which is nothing. It's nothing changes if nothing changes.
Right. Exactly.
And so that's what I tell them. Come on out, ride a bike, and if you like it, great. If you don't like it, that's okay too. But at least try something. Get out of your comfort zone.
Awesome. Awesome. And that's why we knew you'd be such a great guest. Like I said, you told us early on, you were like, nobody wants to hear from me. You know, why do you? And this is why, because it is people like you. It is people who, you know, are about the connections, who are about growing the sport. It's that grassroots foundation that really brings true value to the sport. It really and truly is. And we told you that from the beginning. And with that,
I mean, I'm glad you got to touch and bless some other people, but if nobody else would have been on, I've enjoyed this.
right.
I mean,
Exactly.
it's
great.
touched me.
Yep. So
Well, I'm glad that you got something out of it, and I hope others did too.
And
You
they
know,
did.
that's
I guarantee they did.
I honestly believe in the motto that if we're not spending our time making somebody else's life better, we're wasting our time. And it's the same thing when I help riders that I race against. You know, one of them would be Monty Scott. Raced a lot against him, and he would ask me questions, and I would answer him honestly. And he would question my advice and stuff because I'm his competitor. I'm like, dude, I want you to beat me.
right.
You know, because if you beat me, that means that I'm making you better. I can see results of what I'm doing with you.
Right.
That's
Exactly. Exactly. You've got a lot of people that are, you know, in the comments saying how awesome you are and how it was great discussions. Brad kind of touched on being a novice at the Super Nationals back in 2021, the same straight as him.
That's when SoCal Bad and I met, was Super Nationals at 21.
Oh, really?
Team 4.
Yeah.
I remember our daughter to this day when he had his first
Auto racing.
Yeah.
we bought a jersey, or we had a whole kit. Yeah. And she was borrowing my kit, and she come up and you were like, I need to take a picture with you so I could show Brad. She still remembers that.
I remember that because I was like, I know this sounds a little weird, but would you mind if I take a picture with her so I can send it to Brad? Yeah, and I try to do that with Brad, you know, every national I go to, and just take a picture of somebody from his team and send it to him.
Right.
That's cool.
Yep. You've got a lot of love in the comments for sure.
Definitely.
Coming around. I love it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. That was my ex-wife right there. Hi, Val. The mother of two of my beautiful children.
Oh, well, she's very pretty too. Her picture is very pretty, so that makes sense. Yeah, look at this. I mean, everybody is just commenting on, and it's just crazy how you have you've made a very huge impact on people, and you don't even realize it. So I think that's awesome.
That's more than awesome.
With that, what would be your final message to the BMX community?
My final message, go out there and have fun. You know, don't do it for the right reasons. Don't do it because, well, we all do things for various reasons. But for me, I do it because of the passion of it. It's not to be number one. Right. Everybody wants to win, but not everybody can win. Only one person can win. And with that means the same thing with mains and grands. Everybody wants to make the grands main. And yes, my son, you're the most beautiful child. Only 4 people can make the main, you know, from each semi at grands. And I have to be okay if I'm number 5.
Yeah.
And that would be my message to other people is, you know, winning isn't everything, and losing is just part of the process as well. Keep striving to be better, but at the same time, know that, you know, I may beat you at this track today, but you could beat me at that other track tomorrow. So keep pedaling, keep going forward, and always remember that in life, there's only 3 things that we can control, and that's our attitude, we can control our effort, and we can control our response. That's it. All the other stuff is out of our control.
That I almost want a T-shirt made that
That's
says that.
exactly what I was saying.
That is awesome. That's a great theory. I absolutely adore that. Seriously, like I might steal that, and make a T-shirt because that's
Can't do
perfect.
that.
I
You
can.
can,
I'll give him
you can put
credit.
on there
I'll give him
Rob's words.
Rob's words. Rob's words of wisdom. We'll call it that.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
even better.
There we go. So who did we pick? Do we have a winner? Number 2?
Yeah.
Number 2.
Blew everybody out of the park.
Blew everyone out of the park. That was
Jana.
Yeah. Well, Jana, you're gonna have to drop your address in the comments and we will ship this out to you.
Instant message it to Nell on Facebook. Don't put your
Oh
address
yeah, don't
on
put it in the comments. I'm sorry. Yes, message me. Message me. Fits in with the just. Yes.
Yes.
I don't know. Has Wells talked to you about his new brand that he started? Pretty cool.
It's pretty awesome.
That hit with me too when you were talking about PTSD and realizing that it's just excuses. Some of it's we're bigger than whatever. So we're using things as excuses. That fits really well with that brand. Super cool.
Yeah.
Janice said she'd buy that shirt. So we might start a shirt thing.
One of the other things I would like to mention before I forget is one of my big learning things during all this recovery work I've done is the most important thing I had to do was because I had to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right.
And because that's the only way that change comes about. The same thing as we're going out there and we're on the track, and we have these bad habits of how we ride our bicycles. We may have bad habits about how we do our gaits. And then so somebody comes up there and corrects it for us, helps us tell, oh, well, no, it doesn't feel right. It's uncomfortable. It's because it's change. And change is uncomfortable. So you get comfortable being uncomfortable. And that's how you will really develop as a person and as a rider, is just leaning into that discomfort.
Yep, absolutely. I can totally relate. I am always uncomfortable in BMX. I'm always uncomfortable. So I can imagine that. That's amazing advice.
I want a book.
Yep. We might need to hook you up with a writer because you do very well.
You need a book.
So Jana, make sure you put in the comments, or not in the comments, in the DMs and the messages, your address. We'll get that out to you. I want to definitely thank Rob for joining us today.
Yes.
What a fantastic time. I can't even say it enough. This has been
I knew it was going to be good, but holy cow.
Yes, this is amazing.
I truly appreciate the opportunity and to share my story.
Right.
So thank you for blessing me with this opportunity and allowing me to do that.
Well, for sure. We will definitely sing your praises for a while, and we might follow up with we might have another show eventually. I think we could do this again and expand on it. Yeah, I love it.
I mean, it's awesome, but
awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. We do need to give a shout out to our sponsors again.
Yep.
Do it, baby. Do it.
Free up storage.
Free up storage. Boom.
Oh, you're not going to go?
Nah.
Okay. We're going to go free up. We're going to go Amy Grips. We're going to go 8 Degree Pedals, Evil Alloy, and Carbone Cartel.
Yeah. Keep in mind, we always have room for more. We have very small financial, or we will do trade. So, we will do trade.
She's only got 50,000 on her.
Or whatever. We'll figure something out.
Rob, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Awesome.
For sure.
Awesome.
And I'm thinking we're going to see you in DeSoto this weekend.
Oh, yes, I will be there racing just the cruiser for the state race. And
awesome.
Yeah, I'll be there. Look forward to seeing you guys in person. And my girl Jana's going to be there too. Yeah.
I love her.
Yeah, I love watching her fly across that track, man. It's just she's so insanely talented.
Man, she's airborne too.
Effortless.
Yeah, you should see her on her unicycle.
What?
Yes, that's how. Yes, the girl can ride a track on a unicycle too.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Oh my gosh. Jana, bring the unicycle. She's probably like, nope.
Oh,
Oh, my Facebook friend Scott Sloan will be there too.
oh, shit.
I have to brag. He has very few friends, so you know. Facebook friends. He has tons of friends, but
Yeah.
yes, that was definitely amazing. We've been at this for over 2 hours, and I never would have guessed. I look forward so much to seeing you this weekend.
Holy
I'm going to
cow.
give you a big hug and tell you how awesome you are. Is your wife going to be there?
Probably not. It's not her thing,
No?
and that's okay. No, and
That's okay.
it's totally okay.
Yep.
You know, she supports me doing it, and I'm good with that. And when she comes out, I love it. And if she doesn't come out, it doesn't bother me at all. And the thing is that if she's there, she feels like she's infringing on my ability to, as Tim Weiss said earlier, be the mayor of the Metroplex. You know, going around shaking hands, kissing babies, all that stuff. She's
saying this is your thing, and she wants you to shine and feel comfortable. Love
she
it.
says
That's
she'll be
amazing.
there.
Oh,
You can sit with us.
Well, I was going to say, I want to give her a hug too, because I'm going to tell you what, hearing that she has given you so much support and been your backbone and obviously doing that well. And she is.
Your family.
Yep. And I know that, seeing someone go through something difficult has got to be incredibly hard. So.
Yeah. And she's going to Worlds with me too.
Nice.
Wow. Now that could be like honeymoon status over there in Australia.
No, her sister's going with us. But I got to be nice. It's her sister's birthday, remember? So, Marcy, I'm so happy you're going with us to Australia.
Awesome. Well, very cool. Thank you again for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you, Rob.
And we will see you this weekend. And I look forward to meeting your beautiful wife.
Yep.
Jana, I'm probably just going to bring your stuff to you instead of ship it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be smart.
That would be the smart thing to do.
Anyway, thank you so much.
Good night. Thank you, everyone.
God bless you.
Bye now.